Welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. This is a safe space where we invite healthcare providers to unapologetically be themselves after the working day. My name is Jennifer George, and each week I will connect you with guests and stories that will help transform your stress to success and fulfillment. Are you with me? Grab your drink of choice and let's chat. Hey guys, welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. I'm your host, Jennifer George, and I'm joining you this evening with a glass of water. I want to chat with you today a little bit more about you. I want to get clear with you. So in the midst of your morning routine, let's say your self-care routine, when you are hydrating yourself, when you're having breakfast, when you're doing your morning movements and meditations, gratitudes, journaling, all of that stuff, in the midst of all of that, do you ever ask yourself what it is that you want? Seriously, think about this for a moment. When you are paying gratitudes, right, and you're writing everything down, you're grateful for what you have. Do you ever take the time, though, to ask yourself what it is that you want for your life? I'm not talking small here. I'm talking a vision for your life. And I got to tell you a story. I was like last week, I was not feeling great. My mood was kind of down. Things felt heavy. I just wasn't in a good mood. And there really wasn't a singular reason for it. I don't really know why I was feeling that way, but I was. And I had like this internal dialogue going because I was aware of my mood, and it was like, well, and then I finally asked myself, like, well, what is it that you want? Like, what are you down about? And so that really shifted things for me because it made me realize, like, I have never really put it out there as to what it is that I want. I've done it in spurts. I've done it in like things, but I haven't really like declared it. I haven't really written it down and declared it on a regular basis and have come back to it. So this is the thing that I'm more self-aware of and I want to improve on. You know, when I wrote my book and I launched my book and I marketed my book and things were really good last year, you know, come January, February, I stopped. I have this thing where I do something and it's novel. And, you know, I give it all of this love and I pour into it and then I just stop. And for some reason, I think that it should just now take care of itself when at the end of the day, it's not going to because I'm not nurturing it anymore, right? I was the reason why it was where it was, right? Or that it was getting into people's hands. So, you know, it's an interesting concept when you think about it. So it's the same thing about what it is that you want. You might think that you know what you want. It might be in the background of your mind, but is it at the forefront of your mind? And that's what I'm asking you to do, is I'm asking you to bring it to the forefront of your life, what it is that you want. So just as much as you write your gratitudes down and your journaling down, I want you to also add to that what it is that you want for your life. And I'm going to be honest, it was hard for me when I first started this to actually get clear on it. And there was two reasons for that. The first was I didn't include why I wanted it. So now I've since included the intention for it. Why does this matter to me so much? And then second, when I felt blocked, I had to ask myself, like, do I feel worthy of it? It came back to that. It came back to worthiness. And it was like, I had to remind myself, I am worthy of this. It doesn't matter how big, I am worthy of it. And so once I gave myself permission and declared myself worthy of it and reminded myself of that, I was able to get more clear and, you know, the pen just kept going. So those are a couple of things to think about. If you find that you're trying to write what you want, but you're not very clear on it, ask yourself why it is that you might want it. That might help you get even more clear. And second, remind yourself that you are worthy. Okay, so this is so important to do. I really hope that you do take the time to do this for yourself. There's nothing There's nothing arrogant about this. There's nothing selfish about this. There's no judgment here. This is just you with you in an ideal situation, an ideal world. If you didn't have that, sometimes that negative self-critic inside of you, okay, what would it be that you wanted? Okay, and then the more you do this, so if you start doing this daily, you'll start to find that you operate from this energy. And when you're operating from this energy, you're operating from more of an energetic state of empowerment and of joy and of peace. Okay, and you will start to have this air about you, and it will attract other people to you. And people will start to be like, oh, there's something about you today. And they'll be drawn to you, and they might not know why, but they know that the space you're in is the space they feel good in, they feel safe in. So think about that as well. So it's not just the effect it has on you, but also the effect that you will then have on others, and the value you will then bring to others. And so today, for example, so I've been doing this for a few days now, and today I have to say so many things, even today and yesterday, there were so many things that showed themselves, so many little signs that showed themselves that I was on the right path of what it is that I wanted. And it was like, oh, that was like in line with what I wrote today or what I wanted, right? And a lot of my desires are the same. I'm getting more clear on them. And so then you just start to see that more, and you start to see those signs more, and you start paying more attention, you start becoming more present, you start becoming more connected, you start to become even more grateful. So for example, today, because there were so many signs, like I said to myself, when I get home, I got to write these things down. And I did. I went home and I wrote everything down that I was so grateful for having received. So it's this cycle, right? And it continues and it continues, and it's infinite. And it's exponential, and it amplifies and it grows. And that's the way of your world. And you'll find that in doing that, you'll find that you'll feel more at ease. You'll be able to not sweat the small stuff that sometimes can feel so big at the time that it's happening. Okay, you'll have more clarity around that, more perspective, more clear perspective, and not so reactionary in your responses, but rather more still and more observant. So let me know what you guys think. Try this out. See if it enhances your energy, if it enhances what it is that you've been thinking that you want for your life. So try it, let me know. And you can get in touch with me on Instagram at bestobsessedwithjen is my handle, and we can talk about this. It really is a practice that I think we should be doing, because in the midst of everything, I often find that we don't take the time, at least enough anyway, to ask ourselves what it is that I want. And sometimes I think we know what we want, but we don't really actually take the time to declare it. Okay, so take the time for yourself this week to do this. Try it for a week, and honestly, let me know how it serves you. I would love to hear back from you. And until we chat next time, remember to stay well, stay happy. So if you guys like this podcast, please subscribe and leave an honest review. Your feedback means everything to me. Your reviews are what moves this podcast forward, and I always appreciate receiving them. If you want to get a hold of me directly, reach out to me on social media. My handles are in the show notes, and you can always subscribe to my weekly newsletters at jennifergeorge.co so that we can stay connected. So until next time, thank you guys so much again for your ongoing support.